clocks are very useful. We can use them so we don't miss our train or an important job interview. They can tell us what time it is, but they haven't been able to tell us what time itself is. What are we actually measuring? We feel the passing of time even though we don't know what it is. It is a fundamental part of our lives, but is your second the same as my second? The answer is yes, according to Isaac Newton. He thought that time just moves along, it always changes at the same rate. This seems like a sensible idea, however Albert Einstein realized it wasn't right. Time can tick faster or slower at different places for different people. So your second is not the same as my second. He proposed that there is a connection between motion through space and the passage of time. So roughly speaking, the more you have of one, the less you have of the other. To put this into perspective, if you and your identical twin are standing next to each other, you perceive the passage of time the same. But what happens if you get into a rocket and fly at high speeds to outer space? Your clock starts to tick slower from your twin's perspective, because you are now in motion. This is because some of your previous motion through time is being diverted into your motion through space. If we exaggerate this effect, your motion and flight will also be seen slowing down from your twin's perspective. So when you return from your voyage in space, your clock ticked slower, which means you have aged less than your twin. But why don't we perceive this in everyday life? Motion's impact on time is so tiny, we don't experience it as we don't reach massive speeds here on Earth. However, if we take you sitting on a park bench here on Earth and an alien billions of light years away on a different planet also sitting, the time that you consider to be the present is the same. But what happens if the alien decides to hop in its spacecraft and starts to move away from you? In this case, his present is actually in your past. If we reverse the direction of the alien's movement so it now moves towards Earth, the alien's present will be in your future. This means that the distinction between the past, the present and the future are merely an illusion, however persistent. These are the words Einstein used to describe the existence of time. This means that time is frozen and does not flow, and it is us that travel on this frozen plane. Can we go anywhere we want, anywhere in time?
Back to the Future.
Nobody outside of Hollywood has ever created a working time machine, but would it be possible? One way to travel in time is using gravity. Einstein's theory showed that gravity can affect time just as motion can. The stronger the gravitational force is, the slower time gets. This effect is too small to be observed here on Earth, but if you could travel to a black hole, the effects of gravity would be huge. If someone observed you approaching a black hole, they'd see time dramatically slow down for you. For the outside observer, years are passing, while for you it might be minutes. You would have traveled to the future. Now you traveled to the future. What if you want to go back? Could you travel to the past? It could be possible, taking advantage of something predicted by Einstein's equations, known as a wormhole. A wormhole is a shortcut through space-time. It would not only link a place with another, but also one moment with another. Traveling back in time can cause things to get weird very quickly. You can't change your future because it already happened. This is called a paradox. So if time travel to the past is possible, then why haven't we been overrun by tourists from the future? This suggests that time travel to the past might not be real, But since the maths hasn't ruled it out, we have to assume it's possible.